Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a chess miniature to share with you. This was played in 2022 on the white end Gukesh D, playing against Aydin Suleymanli. All right, this one here, 21 mover out of a Queen's Gambit declined. Black in this game does not want to see a knight get pinned. Preparation for a kingside fianchetto, bishop d6. And now we have this tiny move, a3. So what's going on with a3? Is a3 similar to h6 in that we don't want to see a pin occur to knights? Not exactly. Bishop b4 wouldn't be dangerous even if it could get there in one go. It has already expended a tempo. Here's my initial thought of a3. When I made my first pass through the game, this is what I was thinking. I thought, okay, when c5 hits, white is able to hang on to c5 a bit easier. It's not as this construction of c5, b4, and a3 isn't as quickly undermined with these a5, b6 ideas. That was my initial thought. A couple moves deeper into this game, it was revealed to me that a3 is in fact a very cunning move. Note what move is not being played here by Gukesh. There is no, at this moment here, no robotic play. a3, bishop g2. No. a3 in a way, a waiting move. Waiting for what? Well, let's see. Kingside castles. Now, top move in the computer's eyes, a move played in the game, g4. Very Leela-like play. Go ahead. Take the pawn. Give me a file to work with. That's what black plays in this game. Gukesh is using these two moves against black. h6 was designed to prevent a pin. Now h6 is sticking out like a sore thumb. g5 is going to crack open a file directly towards the maybe too early committed king on the king side. This is a very dangerous idea by white. Now I want to take a step back here. If g4 is such a dangerous idea in response to castles, what different move can black first play? b6 is healthy for two reasons. Bishop development, cut out c5. Here's what I was prepared to share with you all. I was prepared to say, only after the bishop goes to g2, this is a more appropriate moment for black to go ahead and castle. Well, believe it or not, even in this position, this is a strong idea. Even if the rook, once it gets to g1, is not seeing clearly, it's still a strong idea. White is prepared to tuck the bishop away in the corner. A strong idea ahead, g4 at this moment, even with the bishop deployed to g2, interfering temporarily with the rook. Black, however, can once more delay kingside castles, carry on with bishop b7. If white castles kingside, then you could go ahead and castle kingside. g4 would no longer be an idea. So a sort of waiting game here. This is a move you have to respect. If you're playing this h6 idea to cut out that pin, don't castle too soon. All right, in this game, we do see a quick castles and a g-pawn advance. Knight takes pawn in this game. Best in the computer's eyes, it says post up in the center, queen c2, knight exchange, calling this around plus 0.3. White could still look forward to a g5 pawn break. Not the way we go. Black says, okay, show me what you got. Takes on g4. Rook g1, sure enough. Best move at this stage in this already difficult position, e5. That's the way to defend the knight. Follow up from here, c takes, d5. Best in the computer's eyes is to take on e5 and then follow up with bishop takes h6. Why did Gukesh maybe not go for this line? Well, you would have to deal with these double isolated pawns. An open file towards the king, maybe not so appealing. It's calling this around plus 1.3 territory. Defensive g7 here, bishop e5. All right, in this game, we have c takes on d5. And from here, computer's saying get off of the g file, so these follow-up bishop takes h6 ideas are no longer there. Black puts the rook in the center. From here, knight e4, hunting for a dark square bishop. Also, maybe one way to look at it, preventing Black from giving the knight a kick. Black's reply here withdraws the bishop. Gives some security to g7, certainly a sensitive point. It's considered a mistake. White has a decisive advantage, maintains that decisive advantage throughout after bishop f8. What's considered best here? It says develop your bishop, target the knight, be okay giving up the dark square bishop, and be okay giving up the h6 pawn. How does a light square bishop help defend a dark square? Like this. Calls this one around even. I should note this bishop h6 move I quickly put on is not considered best at this stage. It's looking first at a capture and then knight h4 idea. All right, at the end of the day, we do not see Black in this game continue developing. He preserves the dark square bishop. From here, h3, pawn takes, queen takes, securing the knight. Counterplay against this guy once more. This guy's not so quick to budge with this right around the corner, but you pretty much have to now. No threat against any of the minor pieces. You got to go. Knight e5 it is. If you play to f6, we're just swiping h6 straight away. Knight e5. No bishop takes pawn here. Knight takes knight is going to hurt. Winning the queen. It's first knight takes knight. We can simplify here as white at this stage, trading knights and queens, and in the end, we win the pawn. Decisive advantage here for white. What's the try? Rook h5, counterplay against c7, c6, and now we have rook to d1. So this stuck out to me a little bit. I wondered, is this super accurate? It is considered top, rook d1 rather than queenside castle. What's the difference between the two? Something to note. I guess the king is a little bit healthier uncastled in this case. It is still watching over f2 if you queenside castle. Maybe f2 is going to be a target at some point. It lacks a defender. King is perfect right here on home base. Follow up, bishop takes h3, knight e4, hinting at deadly fork, taking advantage of the pin. Rook f5 played here. What other try is there by Black? If the king, let's say, gets out of the pin now, here's one way you could continue. White could target the newly weakened f7 pawn, trade light square bishops, knight g5, and that pawn will be down for the count soon enough. Some other try. Instead of rook f5, if bishop here to tame the knight. Let's first resolve this tension, and white could get going with this pawn, and the bishop has to go here. If you back off, there's not going to be any stopping the pawn. Black will have to give a piece shortly to prevent its promotion. Not a fun position here for black. Even material, no coordination here for black. A rook that's still hibernating. This guy here looks like it just fell out of the sky. Not the dream square for the bishop. This is a decisive advantage. Bishop e5 right around the corner. White could pounce on the weakened f6 square. Complete disaster this would be here for Team Black. So, what is the try? No king h8, no bishop e7, rook f5 played in this game. Bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop. Pop quiz. What's the final move of this game? Feel free to pause the video. Move 21, an aesthetic ending to this one. Bishop c8. Black resigns. You're ready to swipe a pawn and then a rook. We don't have to budge with this knight. What are the tries here? If you try and rescue the rook, let's say knight a6 is played. You track down the b pawn and now there's a fork. I'll touch on these two moves briefly. If rook b8, you swipe the knight. This knight falls, but this guy is still around. And how are you stopping it? Here? Nope. Here? Try again. There's no stopping this pawn. Black will soon have to give up a piece to stop the pawn. If the rook goes to a different square at this moment here, let's say d8, white is still winning out with this continuation. In the end, the bishop is able to stop the pawn. White is up 2 pawns in this opposite color bishop ending, but it is not strictly an opposite color bishop ending. With the rook still around, black cannot force an exchange of rooks. Very little drawing chances here for Team Black. This guy remains super dangerous, the passed c-pawn. One final try to test out here after this bishop c8 move. If let's say a5 was played here, we're swiping b7 and then c6. And what are you doing about c7? If this knight is captured, yeah, we're running in with c7. Rook is hit. We're ready to promote in either way, and white will in fact be promoting. There is no stopping the queen promotion. Rook e8, there would be rook d8. White will queen next. All right, in this one, we have an aesthetic ending to this chess miniature, bishop c8, and black resigns. So, what did you think of this one? Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.